Ladies, your husband needs you to be much more than just his wife. He needs you to also be his best friend. Want to learn more? Keep watching our video on relationships. The next letter in the chair's acronym is R, and R is relationship.
This is a good one.
They, I think, could have just as easily, this is a big one for me.
Me too.
I feel like they could have just as easily called this friendship, but that would have been weird. Chafes?
Chafes. Chairs is better.
Yeah.
So this is the R.
Relationship. This is understanding what your man needs. And so what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to back it all the way up to when I was a kid. Look at little boys and how they play. So when I wanted to hang out with my buddy, I had a good buddy, Jason, still a good buddy. Would hang out. I would get on my bicycle, ride to his house, and we'd hang out. That was friendship.
But
Like,
what
I
does
was
that
there.
look like?
So we would hang out.
Because girls do that too.
We would
so
play-
how is that different?
We would play basketball. We would play, you know, go out into the woods. We would go and play video games or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We would just do the activities that we were going to do together.
Yeah.
And it's sort of understood. You know, that's what friendship is.
You just be there for each other.
Just hanging out, yeah. And what he calls it, Dr. Eggerichs, is shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder time. Well, that's a little different. Yeah, I mean, that I think, and I could be wrong, but shoulder to shoulder is when you do things together and you don't talk.
Well, we talked. We just didn't want to talk about our feelings.
But
so
you
much.
don't.
Like, how you feeling, dude?
I guess you don't understand
Hungry? I don't
the
know.
level of how much women talk.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
But that's the difference, right? I do, and that's what I'm trying to
you
highlight.
can talk,
Yeah.
but you guys didn't talk.
Well, the emotion and
Girls.
the friendship part of it was understood.
Yeah.
And in most men, it is understood. I don't need to like go to a friend's, you know, hang out with a buddy and be like, "Do you still like me? Tell me about your feelings." Like it's just
Girls don't do that.
If I didn't like you, I wouldn't be there.
No, but what I'm saying is
That's shoulder to shoulder time with a guy.
it's non-verbal for men. Shoulder to shoulder time is when you do something together and you're just
not talking.
in the same space with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Girls do that too, but we do face to face.
Sure.
Now, shoulder to shoulder is like you don't need a face to face. You're just doing things together. And girls, when they spend time together, we sit and have coffee and we talk to each other. We go get lunch, we talk to each other. We do our nails and we talk to each other. We like interact with each other a lot more face to face, and we probably covered that in closeness.
Sure.
And in couple, but for the relationship part of men, it's shoulder to shoulder time is what it's called. And it's when you're in the same space as people, two men or men and women or whatever, and you don't interact as much. You just are together doing things at the same time, right?
Yeah, and so that's why I told the story about me and my best friend growing up, because that's I think the root of it in most men. So that was probably one of my best friends growing up. When guys grow up and they find their girlfriend and they get married, they want their wife to be their best friend. Mm-hmm. You know, I want you to be my best friend. I want you to do those things with me too.
Yeah.
And that translates into
Shoulder to shoulder
needing
time.
you to just be where I'm at.
Yeah.
Just be with me. Just hang out. Watch the game with me.
That blew my mind when I read this part years ago and then I started watching men in general and I was like, they do that with each other.
Yeah.
I started like looking around and like I realized that men will get together. They'll sit on a couch together because they're all just hanging out. They're just being comfortable. And they'll watch a movie together, or they'll play video games together, or they'll do whatever they're doing together. They'll barbecue together, they'll play golf together, whatever they're going to be doing. Mm-hmm. And they are just doing it with each other, but not talking about what they're doing or anything.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah, they're just in the same space together. So, it's a big deal for men when women can do that for them, with them. And it is huge to a man's like energy, what he needs, and how a woman can really bring your relationship up a whole nother notch if you get this. All you have to do, and it's like completely in the book. I'm right?
Yeah.
I know, it's a big deal. All you have to do, and it's not something women do naturally. But first of all, if your guy ever invites you somewhere, sometimes you'll see him do that. He'll be like, honey, come watch this movie with me. Or, hey babe, come sit in the room, come sit down with me while I or I'm working online, or playing a game, or whatever he's doing. Sometimes, often, he'll invite you into the same space as him. That doesn't mean he wants you to come in and talk to him all day and tell him your stories or anything. He literally means come, sit,
Just be in the same
and don't
space
talk.
as me. Yeah.
So
and
what?
Don't talk.
Don't talk. Girls are not gonna. But it's crucial.
Yeah.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is you have to experiment with that, because it's completely unnatural for women. And I apologize for men that it's not, or we have to learn this so basically, because you guys get it so naturally. But you have to go, you have to sit down, and you have to do a little test, and you have to see how long you can go without talking. That's what I did to start. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
So I would sit down next to Patrick, and I would like uncomfortably keep my mouth shut. I would be happy, but I would just sit there, and he wouldn't say a word, and I didn't say a word. And the whole time I was thinking, this is so awkward. And the whole time he was thinking,
This is awesome.
this is so nice.
This is fantastic.
And then eventually I noticed that he just got happier and happier and happier and happier. And sometimes you would look at me and just like smile, and then you like keep doing what you were doing, and I was like, this does work.
Yeah.
So now as our relationship has developed, we do that less and less because we just don't have as much time. But if I can, I try to make a point to go to watch him when he plays football, or when he goes to the gym, or when he works out, when he's doing what he wants to do for him. It's really important that I am somewhere in his space with him, so that he feels like he has a friend. And that's his time, and we don't talk. I don't need to talk the whole time. Sometimes I talk a lot more than I should, but it's an important part of the relationship. Oftentimes, literally, now at this point in our relationship, I don't think you really have to ask anymore. I mean, we don't ever really hang out in different rooms.
Yeah, that takes on a different form, because eventually,
You
I'll
get
sort of
natural.
follow you and just kind of be in the same room as you and be happy.
Yeah, sometimes he'll ask, like if I'm cooking dinner and he's in the office or whatever, sometimes he'll say, hey honey, come sit down with me for a second or whatever, and it's like, it's always a yes. You can never deny that, ever. If you can, always do. And so I'll just grab my phone and I'll go sit on the couch in there while he's doing his business, and I will just sit there and watch videos or do what I need to do. When you're doing shoulder to shoulder time like that, is it important that I do what you're doing at the same time?
Not really. You just need
Okay.
to be there.
It's just quietly with you.
Just be there.
If I am doing what you're doing, is that better?
It can help,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
It's just as nice to be shoulder to shoulder.
But you can't always, right?
Just hanging out, yeah. Because it needs another way of saying it's like, I know you love me, but do you like me?
Do you like me?
Yeah. That's important for guys too.
Huge.
Do you like me?
If you liked him, you would be with him.
If you do that, if you can give your man shoulder to shoulder time, you're filling a need for him, you're being that best friend that he needs, and you're legitimizing the things that he needs to do, what he wants to do for himself and for fun and just in general.
One of a really good
lift him up.
One of a really good examples of shoulder to shoulder time for a really successful couple. I don't know. I can't remember if it's in the book or if it's in a different book or whatever. But it's simply that the guy in the neighborhood, the couple in the neighborhood that never got divorced, was the couple where the guy was always in the driveway working on his car. Like he was always the mechanic. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
He was working on his car in the driveway every afternoon. Every evening he would tinker with his car and stuff, which is great because that was what he was doing. And his wife was always in the chair on the driveway right by the car, and she was doing her nails. And she would just like sit there and do her nails like almost all the time. And that's what they did. So like she found a way to do stuff while he was doing what he wanted to do, but they were in the same space together. and they had shoulder to shoulder time.
Yeah.
Huge. If your guy's in the garage, I don't know, if your husband is in the garage working on something, I do this all the time with him. If he's out in the garage by himself, I always go out there with him. I don't let him be out there by himself. I mean, that's
Just go sit.
no, I get a chair and I sit and I read my book and I just kind of like watch him do what he does and hang out with him and
If he's watching the game, go sit and watch it with him.
yeah, it's a big deal to him.
Quietly.
Quiet. You can't talk. That's the thing, and it's so
Yeah.
hard.
I think that's probably one of the keys to shoulder is be quiet.
Yeah,
Because men don't need to talk the way you do.
yeah.
You just don't. We want to make you happy, but
And the way to get through it, girls, is to just test yourself. Make it a game. Be like, how long can I go without saying a word? And I mean a single word. Don't say it. And I'll try, like, I try to get through like an entire movie. I like can't, but I try.
that's fine.
Yeah.
It's making you uncomfortable
It's
now. just
hard.
talking about it. All right.
Shoulder to shoulder is a big deal. And it's really awesome when you can incorporate that into
It's
your
a game
relationship.
changer.
Yeah, it's awesome.